Is Roblox making a comeback? Because that's all I'm seeing on my feed right now, and people are actually convinced the platform is making some massive comeback. Everyone's yapping about this new wave of updates and acting like Roblox finally pulled its head out of the dirt to give us stuff that isn't total garbage. And yeah, some of the new stuff is actually decent, but I'm not sold on the idea that everything is fixed just yet. So we're gonna take a look at what's going on, and I'll show you why I think the comeback might be a complete lie. Now let's talk about the first thing. So this age verification stuff has officially moved past Roblox, and now other sites have actually started adding it too. And people are rightfully hating on it because nobody wants to be forced into scanning their face just to use a website. It's really annoying, and seeing other platforms actually follow what Roblox is doing is a massive L for the whole internet. Because Discord is actually doing the same thing. They're testing age verification and age groups now. And here on this tweet, Creekcraft asked if Roblox just started a massive domino effect for the rest of the internet. He showed a screenshot of a pop-up on Discord that literally forces you to verify your age group by taking a video selfie or scanning your ID. It tells you to follow the steps, and then they'll DM you the result. It's the exact same process Roblox uses, and to be honest, I have no idea how this is supposed to work, because most servers are just a huge mix of people. You have high schoolers and grown adults in the same chat. If Discord starts blocking people from talking to each other based on age, it's going to mess everything up. The whole point of those communities is that everyone's in there together, and I don't think anyone wants to give Discord their ID. It feels like they're just doing this to stay out of trouble with the government. To be real though, it's kinda good for a platform like Discord, but they're just going to end up making the app unusable, because if you can't even join a server without a background check, then people are just going to find a different place to talk. Even David Baszucki actually replied to this tweet from Creekcraft, where he was basically asking if Roblox was just ahead of the curve or if they started some massive domino effect, and Baszucki just said, or both. But I think it's definitely a domino effect, because Minecraft is doing the exact same thing now. They've started forcing age verification too, and if you don't do it, they basically lock your chat and all the social features. It's not just a Roblox or Discord thing anymore. It feels like every platform is jumping on this just to stay out of trouble with the law, and it's getting to the point where you can't go anywhere online without having to prove how old you are. And I'm sure most people don't want to hand over their ID or face scans to these companies, and you can't blame them, because Schlepp replied talking about how Discord literally leaked tens of thousands of IDs a few months ago, and now they're turning around and telling everyone they have to upload their ID just to chat. And about the Discord leak, yeah, it wasn't some small leak either. There were photos of actual government IDs and a lot of stuff that got out. That's why nobody trusts this, but it's clear the Roblox thing was just the start, now that it's hitting Minecraft and Discord too, even though some people don't care, but a huge chunk of people are definitely not okay with it. After all the backlash, Discord actually came out and said they've already been doing this in the UK and Australia since July. And it's true, those countries have been passing some really intense age laws lately. It's not just Discord either. Platforms like X and even Minecraft are being forced to do the same thing over there. Because if you remember, in Australia, they literally just passed a law banning anyone under 16 from social media entirely, which is just crazy. But yeah, people are already saying it's not just going to stay in a couple of countries. Since these big platforms already have the systems ready in the UK and Australia, they're probably just going to make everyone else do it soon just to stay out of legal trouble. It definitely looks like the Wild West era of the internet is officially over. And there's also some bad news about games getting deleted on Roblox, but it's mostly affecting specific countries. If you didn't know, Vietnam actually has its own separate version of the app called Roblox VNG. It's basically its own thing. You can still play with people on the global version, but the rules are way different. What's weird is that VNG doesn't actually force that same age verification on everyone like the main app does. It's because they have their own specific sign-up requirements to follow Vietnam's laws, and a lot of that info is handled when you first make the account. But you see, the problem is that this separate setup is causing a mess. Since the rules aren't the same, certain games are just getting deleted or blocked for players in Vietnam. It's another example of how having these different regional versions just ends up breaking the game for a huge chunk of the community. While the VNG version of Roblox is banning games for high violence, and their first target was Rivals, there's a notice saying it was deleted specifically for the violence. It's crazy that this version of Roblox can just decide to wipe a game like that, though the funniest part is the company VNG itself. They're the ones who brought Roblox to Vietnam, but they are also the ones who published Call of Duty. It makes zero sense. How are you gonna host Call of Duty but then claim Rivals is too violent? It's a total joke, and if they're going after Rivals, then I don't think any combat game is safe. It's just really sad to watch people lose their money like that, because if you spend a ton of Robux in Rivals, you're basically just locked out of your own items now, with no way to use them. It's a complete mess for anyone who actually invested in the game. Anyway, there's a whole different side to this story involving Brazil. and it's actually been all over the news. Because ever since they dropped that new chat update, things are getting weird. A huge TV network in Brazil called SBT actually aired a report on these massive protests happening inside Brookhaven. They showed clips of kids with signs and banners, basically rioting against the new chat restrictions. It's not just players complaining on TikTok anymore. The actual federal government of Brazil even put out a statement about it. They literally acknowledged the protests and the drama over the new chat update. Seeing a government account tweet about Roblox is just crazy. This made me laugh so hard because other major news networks like CNN Brazil are also showing it on the TV. They've been playing clips of kids in Brookhaven walking together in big groups with their protest signs, while the news reporters in their formal suits talk about it like it's some serious political event. Seeing people in suits on the actual news reporting on a bunch of Roblox characters is just hilarious, but it shows how much this update really messed things up.
A medida desagradou os jogadores mirins que pedem, por meio de avatares, justiça e a liberação do chat.
But hey, we do have some good news for a change. It's actually kind of funny because this update is so small you might not even notice it, but it somehow changed the whole mood on Roblox this week. If you open the Roblox pause menu now, there's this new button that lets you hop right back into the previous game you were just playing. It basically just saves you the trip of going back to the home screen and searching for it again. It's cool, but I don't really get why so many people are excited for this, and in the comments, people are actually being positive, which is shocking. I guess after all that other mess, people are just desperate for something that isn't bad news. Anyway, let's move on to some other news. So apparently Roblox is letting you rent items now, which sounds like a good idea until you actually see the prices. Roblox RTC made this tweet saying that they're dropping this temporary purchase thing at the start of the year, where you can basically pay a lower price to wear an accessory for a little bit of time. Let me show you how bad this deal is, because if you want to buy an item forever it's 70 Robux, but to rent it for literally just 3 days, they want 30. Who's paying almost half the price just to return the item in a few days? Like at that point just save up the extra 40 Robux and actually own it forever. It's a cool concept, but the prices they're showing here are just a complete waste of Robux. I mean, there's a good chance these aren't the final prices. It's likely just what they're using to show how it works for now. But even so, people are actually pretty excited for this update. I guess the idea of being able to just use an item for a bit instead of buying it is enough to get people interested, even if the prices we're seeing right now don't really make sense. Now we're getting into the bigger news that has a lot of people feeling a mix of worried and hopeful. Bloxy News tweeted that UGC animation packs are going to be a real thing by mid-2026. These packs are supposed to completely overhaul how your character moves, changing everything from your walk and run cycles to how you swim and climb. Roblox is only going to control the pricing on these just like they do with emotes, so you won't be able to list them for super cheap. But honestly, the fact that this is even happening is a bit weird. Giving the community total control over how characters move doesn't seem like a smart move. Because I'm sure we all know what happened from the mess when they opened up custom emotes. This is probably going to be a complete disaster. Then there's the update that actually ruins a lot of the exclusivity on the site. Mid-2026 is when PBR Alpha is supposed to drop for everyone, which basically means UGC creators are getting the tools to make items with realistic reflections and, more importantly, transparency. Roblox used to be the only one that could make items special by adding glow, transparency, or particles. It was their way of making certain items stand out as high tier or exclusive. But now, they're just handing those keys to everyone, which is not good because the marketplace is going to be flooded with glowing garbage and probably a bunch of fake headless. To me, this isn't an exciting update at all. The catalog is about to get cluttered with buggy and annoying items that ruin the experience for everyone else. But yeah, that's just my take on it. Moving on to the next story, we actually have some more good news, and it's honestly one of the most random things I've ever seen. Believe it or not, Bruno Mars just hosted a concert inside Steal a Brainrot. I know, a lot of people including me don't like brainrot games, but you have to admit that this is actually huge. The concert peaked at 12.7 million players, which is absolutely insane. It almost beat the world record for the biggest in-game concert ever. Fortnite probably still has the #1 spot with around 14 million, but Roblox is getting really close. In the footage, you can see him performing his new song since his album is coming out next month. It's just funny because he's a massive artist, and him actually giving his time to a game with brain rot in the title is insane. But yeah, even if you hate the game, it's still pretty cool to see someone that legendary showing up on Roblox. Anyway, there's a handful of smaller updates on the way that honestly feel pretty pointless, like changes to the avatar shop and that new renting system for items. While renting might be a decent addition for some, it's nothing compared to the bigger mess we just talked about. But I'm just let down by where this is going. It feels like Roblox is destroying what makes rare items actually feel special on this platform. Sure, you could argue that giving creators more tools is a good thing in a general sense, but I'm just not seeing it. I guess Roblox just doesn't care anymore. I'm curious to hear y'all's side though. Let me know if y'all think these updates are a win, or is Roblox just making everything feel cheap and common? So drop a comment and let me know what you're thinking.